Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, hosted by Slam and Jordan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Coast to Coast. I am your host, Slam, joined as always by my main man, Ray. What's up, Ray?
What up, Slam? What up, MBL?
Man, we're chilling today. Making the playoff push. Got about 3 weeks left in the season. Real tight. League is real tight. Everybody is up close and personal with each other. Everyone's within I think a game and a half or 2 games, with the exception of one division, which we'll talk about here shortly. But we have to talk about it. But I think this is it usually this tight, or I think more teams have clinched by this time normally. Am I wrong?
I think what you're seeing is the evolution of teams maturing, teams getting their players, and now you see teams building their teams to what they want it to be. And so now you get that more even play, and you see some of the teams kind of stand out. You know, some of the teams that normally on the bottom of the division now stepped up and they're at the top of the division. So yeah, it's real interesting right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It gives you one of those, makes you feel like anybody can win it. I don't know if there is a clear-cut favorite, so to speak, at this point in the season. One may emerge over the next 3 weeks, but as of right now, I wouldn't even know who to put my money on. I mean, I guess you can always roll with the 2-time champs. Maybe you can roll with the defending champs, but everybody's
I think there is a solidified hot team right now, and that team would be the Rams. I mean, the Rams have beaten, they're 12-2, by the way, but they faced off against the number 1 seed in the AFC and on MBL Live, and that game was it was Rams ball start to finish. I mean, they just dominated that game. So I think when you see that we dominated the 1 seed in the AFC, you got to say the Rams the hot team right
now. I love the Rams, big Rams guy.
Here we go.
But I don't know, man.
The Rams don't get you excited, man. You don't.
No, the Rams. The Rams are fine. This has nothing to do with the Rams. This has everything to do with the AFC 1 seed.
So you take a shot at the AFC. Okay.
I'm not taking shots. It is what it is, right? If the playoffs started today, okay, you would have Vegas, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Buffalo. Those are your division winners. Then your wild cards: Denver, Baltimore, Indianapolis. Indianapolis is the 7 seed. Okay, all 6 of those teams that aren't Las Vegas licking their chops to play Las Vegas. Just absolutely licking their chops to play a playoff game against Las Vegas. So that you gotta, I mean, we all know how this league is, and no one gives you props until you do it. Okay? No one pats you on the back for a good regular season. No one cares.
Absolutely.
To be quite honest, people don't even really care about playoff success. Everyone talks about, oh, did you win a ring? Did you get one? Do you have one? I have one. Do you have one? I don't have one. You know what I'm saying? So until you do it, no one cares. So you're 12-2 record right now. You lost to the Browns. Okay, Browns haven't won a game in almost 3 months.
Was that the last game the Browns won?
I don't think it was the last game the Browns won. Actually, it might have been the last game the Browns won, to be quite honest. now I have to go back and check. Let's see. It was the last game the Browns won. Browns haven't won a game since they beat the Raiders. Yeah.
So who did that work out for?
I mean, hey, it's fine. Yeah, it is what it is, man. You win some, you lose some. But and again, Raiders ain't playing nobody.
But to your point, I mean, the Raiders have plays.
They what?
Quality opponents. The Raiders play some quality opponents and beat some quality. Who
are the Raiders' quality wins?
Let's see. Hold on.
There's one. They have one quality win. I'm looking at their schedule. One.
Oh,
Looking at the schedule, they have one quality win. The one quality win.
They only beat
One.
team with a winning record. Oh man, or does that say Denver is just really that bad?
One quality win.
So no team, they haven't beat a team with a winning record at all this season except Denver. Is that what you're telling me, Slime?
I mean,
That's what you're telling me.
I mean,
No, Arizona.
okay, hold on. Let's talk about it.
Arizona has a winning
So,
record.
the Patriots 4-10, Dolphins 3-10, Chargers 7-7. Okay, they're 500. The Jets, hey, the Jets are a division leader, 6-7. The Browns 5-9. The Saints, oh, they lost to the Browns. Sorry, they didn't even beat the Browns. Okay. The Saints, hold on, I got to get over it. 3-11. The Cardinals, where are the Cardinals at over here? 6-8. The Chargers, 7-7. The Broncos, hey, 9-5. Good win. The Bills, 6-7. The Niners, 2-12. The Chiefs, where are the Chiefs at? 5-9. The Rams got the shit kicked out of them by the Rams because the Rams are actually good. And then the Chiefs again, 5-9. So yes, they have not beat a team with a winning record.
So what record does Houston have? Like, what's Houston's record?
Houston is 6-8.
Okay, so they're gonna win that game.
They should, if the trend stays the same.
And then they have Denver again, and then they have Seattle.
No way they're sweeping the Broncos, and the Seahawks are playing for their, I don't want to say playoff lives. Actually, they kind of are. Yeah, they are, because if let's see, everyone in the, so you got the Rams, Packers, Panthers, oh God, and the Commanders. Those are your division leaders. Then you have all the wild card teams. 4 loss, 5 loss. So, yeah, Seattle has something to play for. So, I mean, if the Raiders really want to win the division, they're gonna have to earn it. I'll give them their props. I'll give them their props if they win the division. Winning a division is you play who's on your schedule. You can't, we don't get to make our own schedules.
So that was the point I was gonna bring up.
Yeah, you play who's on your schedule.
They don't make their own schedule. So they played who was on their schedule, and they've won 12 games out of those. And so the defense is for real. I'll tell you that much, man. That defense is for real. I've seen it. I've lived it. I breathed it. The defense is for real, bro. Now you can find some avenues like the Rams did, and you can find success. But really, when the Rams played the Raiders, it was the Rams capitalizing on the mistakes of Tua and the poor throws from Tua. They stopped the run and they forced Tua to throw. That's what gave them success. So that Raiders defense is legit.
Well,
and so we'll see how far that can carry them.
We get to watch the Raiders and the Texans tonight in a couple hours on MBL Live. Please tune in.
We doing building the franchise with the Raiders, huh? Hot season continues. I like that.
It's you do.
I'm back on prime time again.
They're a fun story. I will admit I'm a little bit of a hater, but they're a fun story. Can't be mad. At the end of the day, I am a Raider fan, so it's cool.
The Raiders probably got one of the greatest players in the draft. That cornerback that they took in the first round, Ivory. My goodness, that dude is a baller. He's an NFL player out the gate. He didn't need time to develop. He didn't need time to sit and watch. He didn't need none of that. He's ready to go. So I think that kind of attributes to their success. Chris Jones adding him, of course, to that D-line, that attributes to their success. And then the offense just being steady, rock steady. You don't turn the ball over, don't make too many mistakes, and you're gonna find some wins.
If you say so. If you say so. I don't care.
Raiders rolling. I let them roll.
I don't care who's on your team. Come playoff time. These are the games. The last 3 games, you need to win all 3 to win your division. Can you do it?
So same thing applies to the Rams, though, right? I mean, the Seahawks are kind of breathing on the Rams.
Yes,
now.
Rams are in the same boat. A team that hasn't been there before. A team I trust the Rams leaps and bounds more than I trust the Raiders.
Now,
absolutely.
You just shout out the Raiders record. Talk about the Rams record.
All right, let's do it. Chiefs under 500, Niners under 500, Seattle.
They lost Seattle.
They lost Seattle. Arizona under 500. The Chargers 7-7.
They lost
the Bears.
Chargers.
What are the Bears? Are the Bears under 500?
So no, they 7-6.
Okay, 7-6 for the Bears. Hold on one second. I have two screens going on, and I jacked it up. So give me 1 second. Let me get there. All right, Bears 7-6. You said. Broncos over 500. Cowboys. I know the Cowboys were, but they're 6-8. Seattle over 500. Cardinals under 500. Saints under 500. Eagles under 500. Raiders. Apparently they're the best thing ever. And the Niners under 500. So the Rams haven't really beat anybody either. The Rams have what, 2 quality wins maybe? Yeah, and one was the Raiders, who I don't count, so maybe 1 quality win.
But they got the Jets upcoming, then they got Washington, then they got the Giants. So I mean, Rams might be in a good. They might be in a good space.
Both of these teams have their paths are completely different. So the Raiders come in. They're going to play a Texans team that they'll compete. I feel like the Texans could hang with anybody in the league. But judging by the way the season has gone and the hype that surrounds your team, that's a game that you should win. Right? Yeah, you should win that game. And then there's they have 2 tough ones. But not to mention the game against the Texans is at home. You should take care of business at home. But then you have the Broncos and the Seahawks, so you really need to dig down deep and earn it. The Rams, it's kind of the other way around. You're probably going to be favored in all 3 games. 2 of them are on the road. So this is a take care of business scenario. Don't let up, finish strong, and you'll win the division.
Then you speak on both of these teams haven't been in these positions where they're leading their respective conferences. And so that's a lot of pressure. Each game that you play, you're now going to get the absolute best of the team that you're playing. Not to say that they wasn't getting their best, but now the spotlight's on, especially for the Raiders. I mean, they've been on a couple of MBL lives. Everybody's got their eyes on them. They're the Cinderella team. It's really difficult to keep that train rolling. So I'm interested to watch them. So that's a good matchup, man. I can't wait to see that. Vegas versus Houston.
I think I'll be tuning in. I might have a little bit of family business, but we'll see if we can tune in for that one. Well, so we talked about the AFC West, the NFC West. It wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about the other divisions. Oh, the AFC West, by the way. It's the only division with more than a 2-game gap between first and second. Crazy.
But you said there's a chance.
I mean, there is. There absolutely is. They lose all 3, and the Raiders could lose all 3, and the Broncos could win all 3 of theirs, and then we have a tiebreaker scenario. And I mean, gosh, you guys probably have a lot of the tiebreaker for that's probably going to be crazy because you've probably lost a couple of conference games. The Broncos have. So, and he's lost 1 conference game. Well, you've only no. Hold on. No, yeah, that tiebreaker. The Raiders probably get that tiebreaker. To be quite honest, I'm not digging into it deep, but just looking at it surface, I actually think the Raiders probably have it locked up, even if they lose all 3. Simply because they'll only end up losing 2 AFC games. Right? But
the Raiders, it's their division, man. It's their year. but it's up to a team to come in and knock them off, man. They're hot.
Someone will. Anyway.
But, I think one of the surprise teams for me that kind of, other than the Raiders and the Rams, of course, the next surprise team, I guess you can say, is the Titans. Titans right now leading their division. They're on a 5-game winning streak. And, man, they went into Pittsburgh, and they took their soul and Mahomes. So they took the souls of the team, and they starting quarterback. Yeah, that's kind of wild.
They go on the road, face the defending Super Bowl champions in Week 16, and I mean, that's like we said with all these teams that haven't been there before. This is it. This is your chance to earn it. If you want to win the division, beat the Colts on the road, Week 16, in a game that means everything for your season.
We need that on a stream or something, man. We gotta turn the lights on for these games, man. Yeah, that's a good one. We gotta see that one.
No, it won't. As much as we'll see it. Whether or not it's on MBL Live is a whole nother story. Maybe
bright lights.
Maybe there's another avenue that can present that game to the people.
What you talking about, Slam?
We've been talking about a little something. We'll see. Actually, that probably is a really good. It's probably a really good idea. When as soon as we hang up here, I'll hit the phones a little bit and see what I can do.
All right.
Yes. Anyway. So AFC South, like I said, 10-4, Tennessee Titans, 9-5, Indianapolis Colts. The Texans have kind of an outside shot. No, they don't. Sorry, they do not. I wasn't going to say to win the division. I was going to say to kind of sneak into the playoffs, but they do not. They do not. They will not.
They playing for pride, though.
Yeah, everybody likes to play for pride. Yeah, there's a couple of teams playing for pride, a couple of teams tanking, but Houston will be back next year. I'll give Houston a little bit of love.
They will.
They'll load up in the draft. They got a couple draft picks.
Houston has never been the same since that AFC Championship game against the Ravens when they had the game locked up with 20 seconds left.
Oh, you mean cover 4 palms?
Yeah. They had the game in the palms of their hands and they let it go.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a long road to get back there. But maybe the last few moves that they made has shown that the team is attempting to make progress. Bringing in Jalen Carter, that's a huge move. And so we'll see.
Yeah, they're retooling. They started off 4. They started off 1-5, sorry, and then made all those moves, and they've won a group of their last few games. So, like I said, the needle is trending in the right direction. Well, that's what we like to see. We all like to see progress. We don't want to see teams going backwards. Speaking of teams going backwards and not making progress, before Jacksonville Jaguars 1-13, looking at the first overall pick. Do they have their pick in this draft?
Yeah, they got it.
Okay, that's good. Good for them, because they had the first overall pick in the last 2 drafts as well and didn't have it. Was that it? Was it 2 drafts or just the one?
Just the one. Just the one.
Just the one. Okay. Well, either way, draft whatever stud you can find with the first overall pick. It shouldn't be hard. And,
absolutely. You know who's going to have the number 2 pick?
Let's see. As of right now, San Francisco holds the number 2 pick by way of record. Whether or not they own that pick is a different story.
Yeah, that pick's in Cincy.
Oh. Man.
So, yeah.
Imagine being in the Super Bowl and then finding yourself with the 2nd overall pick in the draft, only to not have it.
You got a nice little pass rusher. Yeah, no, yeah. Who did they trade? I can't even remember.
I don't remember that trade either. That one kind of went under the radar. The reason why I think it kind of went under the radar is because nobody expected the Niners to be so bad.
But how? Like, he traded a first and a second or something wild and crazy. Yeah, Miles Murphy. That's who it was. Really good talent. He's a star. 24. Really good speed and pass rushing ability, but I don't think he has any sacks on the season.
I mean,
am I crazy? Nope, I'm not crazy. He has no sacks.
He has no sacks.
No sacks. Not on one.
Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some. And it is what it is. The Bengals, we can move on to the AFC North. The Bengals are 7-7. Pretty much eliminated from playoff contention. Pretty much.
Really?
Not. Things could happen and they could get in. Indianapolis could lose 3 in a row, and they could get in. I don't know if
I don't think they
Pittsburgh or Baltimore could lose 3 in a row, and they could somehow. Then there'd be a crazy tiebreaker if Cincinnati won all 3. But with one more loss, Cincinnati's eliminated from playoff contention. Personally, now that I know that they have the second pick in the draft, because I would have normally, under normal circumstances, I would just say, hey, pack it in, live to fight another day. But now that I know they have the second pick in the draft for nothing, now you can go fight for it. See what you got. You don't have to.
I think about this roster that they have, right? And I'm pretty sure, there's some big paydays on this team. Having a second overall pick is pretty substantial to your cap as well. So I'm interested to see how they have to maneuver around that cap. I'm pretty sure they're up against it pretty tight. They got some pretty heavy contracts on their team.
They are, but they have some. So they have a couple players who are coming up to be re-signed. You have the ghost of Derrick Henry. You have DJ Reader.
Oh no, he gone. DJ Reader.
Bryce Hall. So there's players that are coming up that are making a little bit of money that I think they can afford to lose. Like DJ Reader is going to clear up a good chunk of change coming off the books, and thank you for your service. We no longer need you. I believe he's hurt at the moment too, so it makes it a little easier to say goodbye to someone like that, especially when they're making a lot of money and you need a little bit of money. So then you can restructure a couple contracts, kick some money down the road. The Bengals will be fine in that regard.
Man, number 2, that's wild. And then I'm surprised that this team has 7 losses. This is a team that's a playoff regular since the jump and has been competing very well in this division. And this season, you talk about the moves that they made, and there wasn't any bad missteps to me. I don't know what you can diagnose the 7 losses right now.
Well, I'll tell you what. You lose to the defending champs in week 1 by a field goal. You lose to the Washington Commanders by a touchdown. That's a division winner. You lose to the Buccaneers. I believe the Buccaneers are making a push. Yep, they're making a push for their own division right now.
Bucks a playoff team, bro.
They're a playoff team. Lose to Houston by a field goal, but it's fine. Houston snuck a couple teams this year. You lose to Pittsburgh, who was leading is leading the division currently, and then you lose to Pittsburgh again, and you lose to Baltimore. None of those losses are bad.
But some of those they win though. And last season, before that, they was winning those games. I didn't expect this team to have 7 losses. Is what and there wasn't any bad moves made. Like they didn't move they start receiver. They didn't move they starting tight end.
Well,
they made some moves on the offensive line a little bit, but and on the defense maybe they made some too. but I don't know what to call it.
You want to hear? It's okay. I'll call it out. This is kind of crazy. Okay, with the exception of their Week 15 game, all of their losses have been less than one score.
Ooh, those are the hard.
A 4-point loss to Pittsburgh, a 3-point loss to Pittsburgh, a 3-point loss to Houston, a 3-point loss to Tampa Bay, a 7-point loss to Washington, a 3-point loss to Indianapolis. One possession.
Yeah, so those games should be in the 7-win team and the 10-win team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, you just it. Actually, to be quite honest, they could. In reality, if you go the other way, if you win all those one-score games, you have one loss.
If Frog had a glass ass, it'll break.
If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. No? No Slam and Salmon?
All right.
No? You've never seen the Slam and Salmon?
No, I ain't never seen the Slam and Salmon.
All right. Well, if you like anybody out there that likes Super Troopers or Beer Fest, Slam and Salmon by the same dudes. Went under the radar. Very under the radar, but it's funny. Michael Clark Duncan's in it. It's good. Anyway, back to football. So, Bengals, 7-7, second overall pick. Good for them. Do we need to talk about the Browns?
We already did, bro.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we talk about the Browns on the pod, or did we talk about the Browns before the pod?
We talked on the pod. Anyway, we talked about enough. Moving on.
All right. 9-game losing streak for the Browns. Enjoy that. Yep.
Yikes.
It's what it is. You cold opponent. It'll get you.
That will get you every time.
It'll get you every time. Anyway. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, two teams going in opposite directions. Poor Pittsburgh. You go to Tennessee, you get spanked, you lose your star quarterback for the season, and now all of a sudden you're lucky. You're lucky Cincinnati lost 7 games because they could very well have missed the playoffs had Cincinnati won 2 more of those games.
Here's a wild prophecy, man.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so
I'm ready. You said prophecy. This isn't even like a take. This isn't a guess. You said prophecy.
You have Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Pittsburgh, more than likely. I think the Ravens probably end up with that division, right? And so that will move Pittsburgh down to the 5th seed.
If it were to end today.
Yeah. So let's just say this ends today. They'll move them down to the 5th seed. They would then be on the road against Buffalo. And Sam Darnold, I believe, would be the starter in that playoff game. Pittsburgh finds a way to win that game. They now get Patrick Mahomes back the next week in the divisional round. And I think they would then become one of the hottest teams in the playoffs.
Okay.
And potentially make a move to get to a Super Bowl. Because that's the ingredient right there. You got the best quarterback, man. You got the best chance to win.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone on earth would say that Patrick Mahomes hasn't single-handedly at least won one game for the Steelers this year.
Oh, right? I mean, they were absolutely hot. I mean, they were rolling, and I mean, a couple of opponents took them down, but I mean, Tennessee went in there and just knocked their heads off, and so they weren't expecting that. But I think there is a road to get back. I mean, you ain't like AJ Brown sitting up in hospice. He coming back, you know.
Oh no, we didn't even talk about it. AJ Brown has been gone for so long, I forgot he existed.
AJ ain't coming back.
Well, we'll better luck next year, AJ. What happened to him? What happened?
He tore his groin. He ripped his groin off his leg. That's crazy.
That's a crazy one. Okay, well,
but you know,
soon.
When Patrick Mahomes, if they can win that one playoff game, get Patrick Mahomes back, that team now becomes a really scary team. of
Of
course, in
course.
the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes in there. So you got to win one game. That's what it comes down to. The Steelers need to, kind of be competitive last three, go into that first wild card game, and just ball out. Have a great game plan, win the game, you get Patrick Mahomes back the next week.
All right. You heard it here first. That's a prophecy, he said. Prophecy. I mean, in reality, I think any of the teams that the Steelers would have to match up with in the first round, if they were a wild card team, with the exception of Baltimore, is a good matchup for them. So as long as Pittsburgh doesn't finish in the 7th spot,
Tennessee. Did you not see the game they just played against?
they'll get Tennessee a second time. Tennessee won't beat them twice.
In the wild card?
Yeah, Tennessee won't beat them twice. Without Patrick Mahomes, Tennessee won't beat them twice. You heard it. Tennessee will not beat them twice. Won't.
Nope.
Nope.
It was a game, Slam. I don't know if you watched it.
I mean, I'm not going to say prophecy, but no. No, they won't do it. Anyway, on to the next. This division's fun. The AFC East. Wah, wah, wah. Right now, every team has a losing record.
I think when we finish up the season, the division winner might have a losing record. I mean, that's a strong chance that happens.
You want to? Okay. Hold on. This is crazy. So, I'm looking at the AFC playoff race. Okay, and I see that Buffalo is the 4 seed at 6 and 7. There's 10 teams listed in this AFC playoff race. The Jets are also 6 and 7. Nowhere on this list. That's how bad this division is.
Hey man, have you seen the rest of the schedule for the Bills? My goodness. They have it's gonna be a gauntlet to get it. I mean, they got Miami. Week 15, they gotta finish that game up. Week 16, they got the Chargers. We saw the Chargers are a 500 team. They'll surprise you. They'll get up on you. Then they got the Colts week 17, and then they got the Packers week 18. So that's one heck of a road to get in the playoffs for the Bills.
Well, would you, okay, let's say you're the Steelers. You're the Patrick Mahomes-less Steelers. Would you rather play the Bills or the Jets?
Honestly, I don't really think it matters, honestly. I mean, both teams are kind of flailing to get into the playoffs. I think I wouldn't say would you rather. I would say your goal is to get to that 5th seed. That's the mission. So if you're going to be a wild card team, you're getting to that 5th seed. You're saying, hey, I want that 5th seed. And not to knock these teams, I would rather play these teams than go against the Titans or the daggone Ravens or even the Raiders if they drop down. So I don't want to play them. I want to get into that 5th seed where I'm either playing the Jets or the Bills. That's the best opportunity to win. So if I'm the Steelers, either here nor there, I'm getting to that 5th seed and I'm bringing my best game plan into the game against either the Jets or the Bills to win the game so I can get Patrick Mahomes back next week.
Agreed. I'm with that. All right, well, let's jump on over to the NFC. We've already talked about the NFC West, so we don't need to go there. The NFC North. No?
The North. The North. Nah, I don't know. So between Green Bay and Detroit, they still gotta play each other one more time, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. So Detroit has the Jets, Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota. I think Detroit can win. I think Detroit can win those 4 games, man. The last game that they played, Green Bay won, but it was a tight. It was a turnover fest too. That was crazy. But let's see, Minnesota, Detroit, Buffalo. I don't know. That's gonna be a tough race, man. It's gonna be a real tough race. It's gonna come down to that final game between those two. But I think Detroit finds a way, man. They gotta find a way.
All right. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, Green Bay is real good. They loaded up on the offensive side of the ball. And yeah, you got the number one offense in points scored. You have the number one offense in terms of total yards. You have the number one offense in terms of passing yards, and your top 10 in rushing, and your running back has 25 rushing touchdowns. That's crazy. Then we look at our defense, and we're 22 in terms of points allowed, 32 in terms of yards allowed, 32 in terms of passing yards allowed, and 25 in terms of rushing yards allowed. That's not playoffs success. You got to stop someone. Everyone in the playoffs can score. You know, they're there for a reason. I don't think you're going to run up against a playoff team that can't score unless you're playing the Jets or the Bills. And even then, they might score. So, granted, the Packers would never play one of those teams. But, the wild card teams. So, let's say the Packers, let's say if the season ended today, the Packers are playing the Buccaneers. Buccaneers will score points. Buccaneers beat the Packers earlier in the year. Got to stop someone if you want to win a playoff game or two. So I think the Green Bay is praying with everything they have to be the 1 seed, so that way they can at least say they didn't lose in the wild card round.
Dang, it's like that.
I mean, the NFC North hasn't won a playoff game all cycle.
Damn. Damn.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, okay, it's okay to lose, everyone. It's okay. Hoorah, talking to you, it's okay to lose. It's fine. Because only one team can win the Super Bowl. Only one. Everybody else, you lost. Okay? So it's okay to lose. If you lose in the wild card round, who cares? Rather lose in the wild card round than lose on a last second field goal in the Super Bowl.
Huh?
I would. Just saying. I can sleep at night losing in a wild card game. I'm going to be real hurt, real sad if I lose the Super Bowl. Look what it did to the Niners. Look what it did to the Bucks.
Slam, you're not going to sit here and tell me you would rather lose.
Losing those games, hold on. Losing games like that cripple the franchise. Look at the Texans. We just talked about it.
They ain't make it to no Super Bowl. And so that's...
They didn't. They were a couple seconds away. And where have they been since? It's demoralizing.
That's on the moves that they made after. Now,
just
you're
saying,
talking about a team and a team going on a playoff push, making it to the Super Bowl, losing on a last second field goal. That's not... You cannot sit here and tell me that that's worse. You would rather take losing in the wild card and losing like that. I would take playoff run. I would take the Super Bowl. I would take us having every opportunity that we can to try to win this game. We got to lose on the last second field goal. I say we came in. We did the mission. We didn't finish the mission, right? We didn't accomplish what we wanted to. But we did every dang on thing that we could, and that team was just better that day. And so
you're saying
that happens.
You're saying all the right things. You're saying all the right things. Who are our Super Bowl losers?
I get it.
Give me our Super Bowl. Super Bowl losers.
Look, Slam.
Please.
Nobody cares about the Super Bowl losers. Everybody focuses on the winners. I couldn't even name off who the losers are because
that's
we
what I'm saying.
Immediately go straight to the winners.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I don't want to be in the Super Bowl.
Here's
loser.
the thing.
I don't want to be it. I don't want to be
Here's
the
the
Super
thing.
Bowl loser.
Some people would rather not show up, for that game and lose. I think that's wild to me that someone would say, "Oh, I would rather not go if I know that I have the chance to lose." Right?
Oh, man, if I know,
man.
for the
Show up
for the sake
play.
of this exercise, I already know I'm losing.
How is that? How do you go into something already knowing that you?
I just no, I'm not saying it's a mindset. I'm just saying it's hypothetical. Hypothetically, I would rather
But nobody
lose.
does that.
I would rather lose the wild card than lose the Super Bowl. Our Super Bowl losers, they're all bad now.
We're going to take a poll with the league. There is no way that everyone in this league has that mind.
Everyone is going to agree with you. No one's going to agree with me. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's okay.
Nah, because there's a lot of that mindset going around in the league.
It's not
okay. I see it in the chat. They're
not
like,
the mindset.
It's
not the mindset.
No. I'm so tired of it.
No.
If you think you're gonna get beat,
everybody in this league is look at the Raiders. Raiders have won 12 games. Anybody can win in this league.
Anybody can win in this league. Right? Any good as
some are better than others. Yes, it's true. Okay, but I don't think anybody here is leaps and bounds ahead of anybody else. Just making a statement. All of the MBL cycle, whatever losers are all real bad. Went into the tank. Okay,
now you
that's
know
all
what the constant is, right?
Ooh, no, but I'm ready.
What's the constant, Slam? What's all those losers got in common?
Let's see, what does Quibble have in common with Gov? And I don't know, man. What
they
are they all
in
in
the
common?
NFC, bro. They are in the NFC. All NFC. Now, is this the year that the NFC gonna get over the hump and beat the AFC Super Bowl? We'll see. But there's something to be said about these AFC wildcard teams, mainly the Ravens, and the Colts were a wildcard team too, that made a push and just destroyed everybody in the playoffs. I can't say destroyed. Let me not say that, but found ways to win games. And it was mainly on the quarterback play. Quarterback play was amazing.
You ready for a crazy stat?
Let's hear it.
So, with the exception of the West, pretty much every NFC playoff or AFC playoff team would be pushing for a division lead in every division in the NFC except the West. Yeah, the NFC is just bad. NFC's bad.
I think these teams are just evenly matched, and so once you start to get on a roll, especially in the AFC, you get on a roll and start beating these really good AFC teams. The NFC, I don't know, but I mean, there's some good teams in the NFC. They've got quality wins, and this season we've seen it on live with NFC having AFC.
Yes, you're kind. Let's move on. Let's move on. Wrap this up. The NFC
don't
South.
Ever come at me with no. I would rather lose in a wild card.
You're missing the point.
Bring that
you're missing the point. You got me out here sounding like Reezy. You missed the point.
Yeah, man, you sound that weak, man. That weak stuff.
Oh no,
get that out of here,
it's
man.
Not. No, stop it. I'll play anybody here anytime. I'll play you
on
a boat
I'd rather lose
with a
week
goat.
one.
I'll play anywhere. Okay. Anyway, NFC South. We just talked about the Panthers, or not the Panthers, the Bucks making that push. The Falcons are still within striking distance. They're either a game and a half or 2 games out of. They're 2 games. They're 2 games out of first, and that's crazy to me. So the Falcons are still alive mathematically. Yeah, I kind of expect Carolina to just take care of business and finish it out. We talked about being there before and how important that is. Carolina's been there before. They're kind of, I don't think they're on autopilot, but it's
Carolina year, man. They going to Super Bowl, bro.
Okay.
Mark your calendars. That team hungry.
I mean, they're week 16. Week 16 is going to tell us a lot because you play the Bucks on the road. You want to win the division? Beat the Bucks on the road.
hey, somebody
The
turn the
division is
lights
yours.
on for that game, bro. We need to be seeing this.
Hey,
We need the bright
like
lights
I
on.
said.
Come on, man.
like I said, there might be an alternative. Just got to make, like I said, got to make a couple calls.
These
Okay.
games are tight.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, Carolina's gonna
NFC
be there, man. That team's hungry. Tampa's coming in and they're gonna give Carolina a run for their money, but not this season. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. NFC East, Commanders have a 2-game lead on the Cowboys currently. Oh, no, actually, sorry. They only have a 1.5 lead on the Cowboys currently. They have yet to play their Week 15 game.
They won that.
Okay. My apologies. They have not played their Week 15 game yet. They have a
they won
matchup.
that.
What do you mean they won that?
This a dub.
Oh, you're saying they are going to win. Well, they play
Yeah,
the
they're gonna
Falcons, another team that needs to win. So, that actually wouldn't be a bad matchup either. Something to watch.
Nobody gonna see that one. Nobody gonna see it.
Okay, no one will see it. All right. Okay, so like you said, we little coast to coast flyover of the MBL playoff landscape where we see things going. You're the man, Ray. It's always fun talking MBL with you. The rest of you guys, this has been Coast to Coast. Have a good night.
All right, MBL. Peace.